Okay, so we're going to add some contrast, and I'm going to do it on top of these layers. I'm not going to get rid of those layers like I did before. I'm going to do everything from here, and as my mask for the contrast, I'm going to use a thing called channels. Now, we did a lot of work in the raw file, making sure our colour was right. We lost a bit in the conversion to JPEG, so we put it back. What I don't want to do now using curves is add another load of colour misbalancing, because I don't quite know how to use curves. So the first thing we're going to do before we do anything else, we're going to open a curves layer up using the layers palette and the little black and white circle. We're going to click on curves. Now, my experience tells me that when you open your curves will be defaultly set differently to mine, and they'll be set in here. If we go to curve display options, yours will be set to light like that, and that's because most people watch YouTube videos and they're used to grabbing the slider and wanging it around and going, oh yeah, how good's that look at Melina now, yeah, she looks great, oh wow, look at all that, that's great. You see so much of that, you've heard it, the S curve, the S bend, whatever you want to call it, it's all there. But while we're doing that, we're killing all the work we've just done. Look at the histogram going nuts, doesn't know what to do. So why would we do that? All we want to do is add some contrast. So I'm going to bin that curves, and I'm going to open another one up, and I'm going to show you how to set it up properly. Remember, everything we do is non-destructive, and everything we do we can go back and do again and change things by 1%, 0.5% if you want to. So if we open the curves up again and go into curve display options and change it from light to pigment ink, click OK. Now we can click in the middle there. It's a bit fiddly sometimes. We can click into the middle. Let me just open this up a little bit. And all we're going to do is where it says input and output, we're going to click in and make sure we start on 50. And then in the output, we're just going to go down percentages to brighten our picture. Can you see that? So you could say, I don't know, one's quite like that, but I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%. Wow, like that. Right? That's all you're going to do. Output, less number. But before we do that, we're going to bin that. We're going to make a mask from our RGB channel here. And making a mask from the RGB channel, make sure that we don't further ruin any colour. It looks at the colours there, it loads that colour in, and it allows us to work in that colour space, just brightening or darkening areas. So all you do is hover your mouse over the RGB in the channels. You press down Control. You see it's highlighted a little square. Click in the background. You can see now. Can't quite see it, but it's loaded a selection in. It says there loaded selection. You can't quite see it because it's quite faint. And in that selection, it means whatever we do now with the curves are loaded into that selection, and that won't affect our colour no matter what we do. So while that selection's loaded, we click on there, go to curves, click bang in the centre, make sure that's at 50, and that's at 50, and I'm going to put 10%, I want to put 10% curve on this. Hold down shift and the down arrow key, 10% brightness. Can you see that? Switch it on and off, 10%. So that's my highlights. But I said I wanted contrast. So to get contrast, I need to do shadows. Instead of doing all that again, all I'm going to do is make a copy of that layer. So Control and J, like that. I've made a copy of it. And then if I go Control and I on the keyboard, that's inverted it using the same mask. It's inverted it. And now if I open it up, click on the center again and take that the other way, because I'm doing the shadows, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've now got highlights and shadows on 2 separate layers, which I can independently now move to suit me. So if we look at them both, switch them both off, that's a nice picture of Melina, quite nice. But if I add the highlights and the shadows on that I've just made, it just adds a little bit more tonal quality to it. Just gives a little bit more. It just adds a little bit more tonal quality to it. It just gives it a little bit more oomph, I think. And when you're looking at the differences between great pictures and good pictures, these are the margins we're talking about. If we switch them off again, absolutely fine picture, quite nice. But I think those punched highlights and that beaten shadow just gives it that edge. And I'm quite happy with that now. And from this point on, I'm quite happy with that now. And from this point on, we're really just going to finish it off, making sure it's sharp, making sure our crop's good. I might tidy the background up a little bit, but pretty much that's the basics I would do on most pictures, if not all. So that's a whistle stop tour into my edit process. I'll be back in a sec. We'll just finish off on the making sure things are sharp, saving this properly. Currently it's a PSD file, it's got layers, it's no good, you can't show it anywhere, or nobody can see it unless they got Photoshop. So we're going to fix that and just tidy things up a little bit more, and we'll have a look at the final picture. Okay, so how do we sort this out now? So I'm happy with that. I'm going to file save as a copy. I'm going to save it as a Photoshop PSD file so I can come back and I can re-edit that anytime I want. Those layers will be there. I can come back and make a fine tweak. Imagine if I was doing this for Melina and I sent it to her and she said, oh, that's great, Lance, but could I have a little bit more like 10% tone across my stomach? I could come back in here, I could look at the curves, and I could just tweak that a little bit, send it back again, she'll be happy. I haven't got to go back to scratch, I haven't got to do anything massive, it's just sitting there. For me though, I'm happy. I'm not going to do anything else with this other than get rid of that unsightly crease that's in the background there that's doing my editing. So to do that, I'm going to flatten the whole thing again. Layer, flatten image. I'm going to make a copy of the background layer. Control and J. I'm just going to zoom in here and I'm just using the spot removal tool. I'm just going to brush that goddamn awful crease that I wished I'd done on set out. You can see now that's gone, it's no longer unsightly. And now I'm just going to flatten the layers again like that. So now I'm ready to go. Now one final thing I might do here, especially if this is going for print, I might just make sure that it's sharp enough after everything we've done. Sometimes models move a little bit when you're shooting them, sometimes they don't, sometimes they're great, sometimes we end up over sharpening things. But a great way to sharpen things, particularly just things like the eyes and the lines, is again to use a mask. And best way I've found that I learned from Guy Gowan years and years and years ago, kudos to Guy, still going. If you want to know really about Photoshop, go and see Guy, he's the man. We make a red layer mask and we invert it. We do all sorts of wonderful things, you'll see in a sec. So all I want to do really with this is perhaps sharpen up the eyes, bra straps, maybe the top of the jeans. But instead of having to paint things and really get in and spend a lot of time, it's quite a simple process. So we grab the red channel, we make a new one, we press Command and I on the keyboard, inverts it for us. Now I want to make that a little bit more contrasty, so I'm going to go up to Image, Adjustments and Layers, Levels. I'm going to make the blacks really black and make the whites really white. Click OK. Now just like we did when we loaded the RGB channel in to do our curve adjustments, I'm going to hold down Control again and I'm going to see the little highlight, copy that red. Now you can see it's highlighted, it's really obvious on this one. Click on RGB so you can see it. Now you're not going to be able to see this sharpening because of those marching ants as they call them. So I'm just going to go to View and turn off Extras. It's still there, the thing's still loaded, you just can't see it anymore. I'm going to view the picture at 100% and I'm going to put a unsharp mask on it. So we're going to filter, sharpen, unsharp mask. You see it's preloaded to 100% and you can see a preview on this. So if I go that much, can you see our skin and her hair and everything's gone horrible, really, really over sharpened. I've found 100 to 200% is enough just to bring back the glint in her eye and that little bit of fine hair that you want to see. Click OK, fit on screen, job's done. We're sharp. We're as sharp as we're ever going to need. And that's it for sharpening. All I would do now is save the file as a high resolution JPEG by going File, Save as Copy, told you JPEG, give it that name. I'll call it Copy 2 because I've probably already got one there already. Click Enter. size 12, progressive, click done. That's it. So that's taken me probably, I don't know, half an hour to teach you how I do my workflow for all my digital files. If that works for you, great. If you take a little bit from it, great. If you take the whole thing from it, amazing. If you think it was a load of shit, I don't care. Makes no difference to me. But it's worked for me for probably 15 years with a few tweaks here and there. So hopefully it will be of some use for you. And that's it really for that basic introduction to things I always do with pictures. Like I said, whether it's a dog, a house, a sky, a night sky, they're the things I'm checking for. Exposure, colour balance, getting rid of minor distractions, making sure once you've edited that your process allows you to fix things in minute percentages from 1% upwards, which we can, and you won't go wrong, and your clients will be happy because you've got a vibe and a style coming through, and you can go back and fix things, change things and tweak things really, really quickly.